Hi, everyone. Today's episode was recorded in June of 2020. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Based On, an Adaptation podcast. I'm Pamela Portnoy. My guest today is Alexa Marie Anderson, who is an actor and the co-host of one of my favorite podcasts, No One's Okay. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the other co-host. We'll be talking about The Hunger Games, directed by Gary Ross and written for the screen by Gary Ross, Suzanne Collins, and Billy Ray, which is, of course, based on the novel by Suzanne Collins. Just a fair warning, there will be spoilers. Hi, Alexa.
Hi.
Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
I'm very excited to be here.
It's so nice to see you on a podcast platform, but I'm nervous because it's a different podcast.
I know,
probably shouldn't say I'm nervous.
This is crazy. It seems kind of weird, but I'm excited. It's also fun. Super fun.
It's different.
I like being a guest.
I know, right? So,
yes.
Welcome. Happy to have you. On this show, we start off with a rapid fire quiz.
I know this is like very intimidating, but I'm gonna try my best.
It's never rapid fire. It's gonna be great. All right. Are you ready to adapt?
I'm ready. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
I'm bracing.
Question 1.
Yes.
Book before movie or movie before book?
Unpopular opinion, but movie before book.
Ooh, very unpopular opinion, but I like your style.
Thank you.
Happy ending or shocking twist?
I think both.
Yes. We decided on the last episode that you can have both.
I can say both? Okay, good. I'm glad that's allowed.
I feel like shocking twists don't always have to be negative.
Right, exactly. And we can get into it, but I think that you agree with what I'm saying.
Very good.
Okay, all right.
You cut out, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying.
All right.
Most devastating book death.
Rue.
So do you think that that's the most devastating book death in all of literature?
That's so loaded. I see the question now.
I mean,
you're talking about all the books.
Rue is a devastating book death.
Well, considering I typically only read nonfiction, I'm going to go with that as my answer because this is
great answer.
Okay, great.
Great answer. Favorite fictional couple?
Noah and Allie from The Notebook.
Yeah, good one. Favorite film adaptation?
Favorite film adaptation? Oh, God. I think this one. Hunger Games.
Hey, that's why you picked it.
That's why I picked it. Yeah, I agree with that answer. I should because I'm saying it, so.
I agree with what I just said in the last sentence.
So, great. Glad.
Least favorite film adaptation?
The Choice.
I'm dead. In case you guys don't know, we did an episode on No One's Okay about The Choice, and Alexa had some problems with it. And I didn't read it, but sure, I agree with it. Because, you know, it's Nicholas Sparks, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. Okay. Favorite actor, male or female?
Favorite actor, male or female? Favorite actor, male or female? Margot Robbie.
Very good. Favorite fandom?
Okay, so if we're talking about books, there's going to be none because I don't read fictional books very much. Favorite fandom, I'm going to say Sex and the City if we're talking like shows.
That's a legitimate fandom.
Yeah. I said it. Okay,
good job.
Thank you.
You know this. I haven't seen the entire series.
I know. It's just one of those things. It's like I just turn it on and it makes me happy.
If you could have drinks with any author, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay, so this is good. I thought about this question. And I think it works because she did write her autobiography.
All right.
I'm breaking the rules, I think, a little bit.
All right.
But I just read Ava Gardner's autobiography, so I'm going to say her.
You are finding loopholes, my friend, but I'll accept it. I find it acceptable. You want to have drinks with Ava Gardner?
I do indeed.
Would it be a dirty martini?
Absolutely. Or whiskey.
Whiskey with Ava Gardner.
Yes.
I thought you said that whiskey makes you feel a certain way when you're drunk.
Are we going to get into that? Or I don't think it's appropriate. Maybe on No One's Okay. I'm not sure what the rating is on this podcast.
I'm still me.
This is going to be interesting. Oh boy. I'm finding all the loopholes. Pam's like, get her off. I take it back. I don't want her here.
This is so good. I'm obsessed. Okay. Favorite book or film quote?
Oh, frick. I didn't think about this one. I said frick. It's weird.
Yeah, I've never heard that come out of your mouth in my entire life.
That was odd. Okay. Okay, this is the first one that came to my head. Yeah. Here's to looking at you, kid.
Love it. Very good. Humphrey Bogart.
Yes.
Nice. Wow, I think that's the fastest I've ever gotten through the rapid fire.
That was my goal.
Good. You get the gold medal for the rapid fire quiz.
Good. I'm happy about it.
You did great. I did great. We all did great. So,
yes.
Tell me why you chose Hunger Games.
You know what's funny? Because actually, as I keep saying, I don't typically read fiction.
Yeah.
And this is, however, I think the reason why I like it is because it could be real.
Yeah.
Which is scary and terrifying. But I think that's why I loved reading it so much, is because it is kind of rooted in a real issues and problems and things like that. So yeah, that's why I love it. And Katniss Everdeen is a badass.
It is really scary. First of all, yes, she is badass. Played by a badass actress.
Absolutely.
And it is frightening thinking about how politically and socially things aren't really that far off.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because I struggle with fiction books sometimes getting into them. I like reading about real issues and things that happened in the past or might happen in the future. That kind of thing really interests me. So, yeah.
I mean, we'll definitely get into this a little bit later, but there are aspects of what happens in this book that do exist today and have existed for hundreds and thousands of years, which is fucking crazy. But very good. Very good. I appreciated your choice of book/movie.
Thank you.
What do you think of the casting?
Of course, yes. I liked the casting. I mean, I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Of course, I think reading the book, how they describe them doesn't really match. But
as far as physical characteristics or personality characteristics?
I would say more physical, how they describe them. I think they describe them to have dark hair and olive skin and things like that. And it just, that's not a big deal, but just interesting. It's not how I picture them in my head if I'm reading the book. Does that make sense?
Totally. I remember you with the choice got caught up in one of the physical differences because the girl is supposed to have red hair and she didn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think I picture...
So that bothers you.
Yeah, because imagery is huge for me, and I like to visualize everything, which is probably why I like watching the movie before the book sometimes, because I like the visual first. But yeah, it's not how I pictured them. So I don't know. What did you picture?
I don't really pay attention to so much of the physical traits that are described in the book.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I think what happens with me is because you're an actor, I'm an actor, but what I notice a lot in breakdowns, sometimes I'll get disheartened when I hear certain physical attributes of the character, and I'll get it somewhere in my head that I'm oh, well, I'm not what they're looking for. And I feel that's a me problem, because I'm oh, well, they're not going to hire me anyway. But that's not, a lot of the time, if you look at these movies, they're totally different from what they're described as in the book. And
Absolutely.
It's because they're just embodying the character's personality.
Exactly. And it's not a deal breaker for me by any means. It's just something I note, I guess, when I'm reading, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You have this picture in your head of the character that you built in your head. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing why it didn't bother me is because I read the books, The Hunger Games, so long ago, like right as they were coming out, I think is when I first read them. And after that, I saw the movies. So I think because it's been so long, but I remember Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss, I kind of had Jennifer Lawrence in my head when I was rereading this time.
Yeah, it's funny. This is the first time I read the book first.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that image in my head. But
you were able to have you never seen the movies before this?
I've seen the movie a while ago, but I remember reading the book before I saw the movie when I did.
Right. So when you reread this time, you were able to separate Jennifer Lawrence from the book?
When I read it, no. When I read it again this time, I'm just remembering how I felt, like what I first pictured when I read the book. That's what I was talking about. But like, what if I read it a second time? Yeah, I'm thinking about Jennifer Lawrence.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Sorry, that was like a weird.
No.
Read so long ago and watched so long ago and then did it again. So
yeah. Same. What do you think of Josh Hutcherson as PETA?
I like him.
I like him too.
I really like his demeanor, and he's such a cutie.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. I thought he fit the character very well.
I agree.
This is a very rare case of liking the movies a little more than the books, I hate to say.
I agree. I completely agree.
That's probably a very controversial opinion.
I mean, welcome.
I don't know what our listeners will say.
That's where I'm at all day, every day. So
you're like, I started the rapid fire with a controversial answer.
Yes.
Get on board, Pam.
Yes, get on my level.
I can get into this right now. Why I have a problem sometimes with young adult novels. First of all, I just want to say out there, I really like these books. I also really like the Twilight books. But these are two prime examples of something that really bothers me in young adult literature. And it's when you're hearing the perspective, and most of the time it's the perspective of the lead female.
Yes, I know what you're going to
say. The level of insecurity in their head drives me bananas.
Well, I think that's interesting to note because the book is narrated. Yes,
but
right. But I think it's interesting because the book is all in from Katniss's point of view, and the movie doesn't really do that.
Right. Because you can't. That's the interesting part about adaptations. It's like you can't have a thought bubble over the actor's head. The actor's just portraying it.
Exactly. Which I think maybe that's why I enjoyed the movie a little bit more.
Yes, because she wasn't so neurotic.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. People are probably gonna hate me for saying that, but maybe I'm so upset because it's so. Maybe I relate to it a little too much. I don't know why. someone, give me a therapy session about it. But there are so many times where it's so obvious in the book that Peeta's in love with her.
Yeah.
And till the end, man, she's just like, well, why is he doing that? Wake up.
I know. It's very it's very immature.
Yeah.
The dialogue. Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree. Whereas in the film, I don't know about you, but I feel like you can tell she kind of knows.
At first, she reacts jaded, right? Which I loved her reaction. But then it's she accepted it.
Yeah, she knows and she just... But it's also not it's not mulled over.
What do you mean?
she's not mulling over it like throughout the whole film. Like that is kind of a subplot. Does that make sense?
We get so much of her internal dialogue in the book about it.
Right, exactly. And I like the movie because it has the importance of the Hunger Games on a higher pedestal.
They stick more with the action.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's why watching the film is so exciting. And then reading the book is more of a love story.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And it's just frustrating for me for her to again, tell me what you want about what this says about me. But she keeps going back and forth between Gale and Peeta. Gale and Peeta. What's Gale going to think? Is he watching this?
I mean, here's the thing. I love that they don't focus on that in the film it's a true problem that the gal has, right?
It's a true what?
It's a true problem that the gal has, Yeah. So
she's got a lot of problems in this.
Right. She's got a lot of issues. I just think that because of the other issues, the importance of that is not, I don't know, wouldn't be in the forefront of my mind.
I know. And I'm glad that this is why I like the movie better. I'm glad that they were able to saw down the book to kind of stick to the action and kind of artfully create the core of the heart around the action.
Yes.
And it was still 2 hours, 22 minutes, I think, the movie. So it's still long, but they did cut out a lot of the adolescent angst.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated.
I appreciate that too.
You're it makes my skin crawl. Isn't that the kind of stuff that makes you gives you the heebie-jeebies?
Yes.
Too much talk of feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Usually I like that stuff. But it's like I said in Twilight, I don't know if did you read Twilight?
I did not.
I recommend it for you too. Okay. I feel like if you like this, you'll like Twilight. Okay. Same problem. Bella is so insecure. And which I appreciate Kristen Stewart. Okay, another controversial opinion here, but I'm a Kristen Stewart fan. I think she's a phenomenal actress. She brought a little more strength to her, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly. I don't like it's a stronger female character that women can relate to.
Yeah,
and I think that's important.
Were there any other standout casting choices for you?
Standout casting choices.
I mean, I could say for me, I am obsessed with Stanley Tucci.
Oh yeah, actually, I was gonna say that. Yes, love Stanley Tucci. It's so fun in the movie. He gets to wear all these fun wigs.
Oh my god, fun wigs!
Love it.
Fun. I think fun teeth too. I think they did a whole new number on him.
I know, and he's a tan. He looks like this. He looks like a caricature version of himself.
I mean, even Elizabeth Banks, everyone got everything.
What a fun character to play.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Super fun, super complex. There's a lot going on because these characters, they're a part of this immoral society, but you get to see glimpses of them at particular points in the film where you see them kind of question the society they are a part of and promote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been obsessed with Stanley Tucci since I was a kid. I saw him in a movie with Pauly Shore. I don't know if you saw this. It's called Jury Duty. It was made in the 90s. It was such a... I haven't talked to many people about that film, but I remember that's the first time I watched Stanley Tucci in anything, and I was just obsessed with him. He was so wild to watch in that. And Woody Harrelson, of course, is brilliant.
Stanley Tucci's voice is amazing. I could listen to him talk for hours. I don't know, something about... Oh, yeah.
Aren't you a fan of his podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it called?
Californian Century.
Nice.
I
just read an article that he wrote. I don't know if it was for the New York Times or maybe it was the New York Times, but I think he lives in London, and he was talking about, what his everyday life is during the pandemic, because he's living there with not only his wife and new baby, but I think his older children and their significant, they're like all in the same house, and like he's talking about the daily life like during the pandemic and like the scheduling like around the baby and the kids and the different feeding times and
that's amazing
how they get through the day. And it was just like the most charming. And he talks about the food he cooks and he adds recipes. I need to send you this article.
Yeah, I need to see this.
Like I like decided what we're doing for dinner. I think I'm going to do this. By the way, this is how you make this.
I love him so much. Oh my gosh.
He's fantastic. Brilliant actor and just like fascinating human. Casting. I give it 5 stars out of 5.
Absolutely. 5 stars.
The thing about Jennifer Lawrence is, I think, when was the first time you noticed her? I noticed her in Winter's Bone.
Honestly, I think it was this film.
In Hunger Games?
Yeah. And then I continued to like watch her stuff like Silver Linings Playbook and Joy and I just love how strong she is.
Yeah.
Even when she plays weaker characters, she still has this she has this like she's very grounded and has this subtle strength to her at all times. And it's something that I like whenever I love watching her because I love to steal things that she does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that you're a fan of like watching people that are still.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of those actors that there was one scene in particular that blew me away. In Hunger, I haven't seen this movie since I think it came out in theaters. And so I was like watching it all over again. And the scene where she is about to blow up the food supply.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like analyzing what's going on with the mines and the apples. Mm-hmm. And like she takes her time with the bow.
She's so analytical about everything.
Yeah.
And you see it all, but it's not.
You see it all, but she's not moving.
Yes, I know. It's incredible. Yes, it's incredible.
It's all in her eyes and her breath. It's like kind of amazing. Yeah, I've always liked her. I watched her in Winter's Bone when I was a teenager. And I remember how much, because she plays roles that like, particularly in that movie, that's the kind of shit I want to be doing. Mm-hmm. Like the really gritty, dingy, like get in there, very dramatic, devastating, hard shit. She really does a great job of it. What did you notice? What were some of the differences between the book and movie that you noted?
I actually think we talked about a lot of them. I mean, I like the narration with Katniss. Yeah. Also, I think the fence that the hole in the fence. This is another visual thing, but the hole in the fence that she goes through to like gather food and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I think in the book, it's like behind like the butcher's house or something. It's not far. And then I think in the film, it's like in this open field. It seems a lot harder to obtain, I guess, in the film.
Okay.
Sorry, a lot of these are going to be visual things, I guess.
They are. That I think it's totally applicable because a lot of people that have read these books like many, many, many times, sometimes it's like upsetting to them. Certain things because it's subjective, certain things mean different things to the readers. And I'm a big like advocate of people changing things to make it more appropriate for the film medium. But I think it's always important to note like the differences that they do choose to make.
Yeah. Also, President Snow is a larger character in the film than he is in the book.
Totally. A little less in the shadows, a little more sinister.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes. Oh, that would have been a good casting choice to bring up because he's
fantastic.
Fantastic. Great at playing those types of characters. Like I think it's his eyes and his facial structure, but yeah, it looks amazing.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do an episode of the show without mentioning Joe Wright's Pride and Prejudice. Donald Sutherland plays Mr. Bennet in that adaptation. Literally, that's the one that keeps coming up, and he is excellent. One other change that they made was First of all, did they sign in with blood in the book?
They, in the book? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the film.
So in the film,
they do that injection thing.
The tracker, right. But then at the reaping, you could see Prim. They prick her finger and they put blood on this log sheet.
Yes, I think it's blood. Yes, it's blood. They prick their fingers.
Is that in the book? I didn't notice it.
I don't think so. No, if it was, I definitely didn't.
So I just thought that was kind of an interesting touch that they added.
They added a lot of, I think they added a more sinister effect to the film with like Panem and
totally
just the whole, and also I think in the book, Peeta and Katniss are pretty well versed in the Hunger Games. And then in the film, like Haymitch, like is explaining it to them. It's kind of like a little bit more foreign, I guess. Also, Haymitch like falls in his own vomit in the book.
I know. Haymitch is gnarly in the book. Not to say that Woody Harrelson isn't, because Woody Harrelson, in my opinion, can do anything.
Right. But, like, I think they scaled a little bit. They scaled him back in the film a little bit. But, like, I kind of understand why. Like, I don't know if I'd want to watch someone fall in their own vomit. So
I don't know why, but I always, when I pictured Haymitch, I pictured Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter, which is, like, a similar sort of, like, rebel character.
Yes.
But, like... Yeah. So when I was reading it this time, I was picturing Mad-Eye Moody. That's like a very bizarre thing for me to even think about. But like, I know it's Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Have you seen 7 Pounds?
I have, but
I've only seen it once, and I'm only going to see it once.
It's heavy.
So heavy.
It's really good. It's been a minute since I've seen it, though.
He's incredible in that.
But yes, very, very good. Wow. That's a
I
film
saw it
that
in theaters and I was like traumatized.
Oh, yeah, that would be traumatizing in theaters. I didn't watch it in theaters.
Now is not the time to watch that movie.
No. I was thinking about it. You knew I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I should rewatch. It's like Girl Interrupted.
Don't do it. You guys, I told Alexa about the Girl Interrupted episode. She goes ahead and watches it during quarantine. She's like, I shouldn't. I told her not to.
I'm not okay. Again.
I have the book. You should read the book. It's fascinating. The differences are interesting.
I want to read them. I mean, fabulous film, but probably not a good watch before bedtime during quarantine.
I actually like the movie more than the book, too, in that one.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
It's just totally different. You'll see. I'll show you. The mayor's daughter gives Katniss the pin in the book.
Yes.
Instead of Katniss getting it at the shop when she's training.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just a detail.
They also mentioned that, like, in the book, everyone has, what do they call that? It's like a tribute token or something.
A token, yeah.
Yeah. But like in the book, I feel like that's like a more normal thing. Like everyone has them, but in the film, it's like she only has, like, it's her thing.
And he's like hiding it.
Yes.
Like when Cinna preps her, he's like, shh, like,
yeah, like
don't
supposed
to know you have this.
Yes.
Whereas like it's a special thing in the book,
right?
Or, like,
yeah, it's more allowed, I guess, or more. Yeah, I don't know.
One like big change I think that they made, which I thought was brilliant, like a really welcome change. I thought. You remember? So when Rue dies, which first of all, when Rue dies, I was sobbing. I don't know if you can tell my eyes are puffy right now. I was sobbing. It makes me watching the movie.
I don't cry. It honestly just makes me so angry.
It made you really mad?
Yes.
When Rue dies and Katniss covers her in flowers, Rue's District 11 is in the book sends her like a loaf of bread.
Oh, yeah.
Which is unusual for like a district to send a gift to someone in the games from a different district. Mm-hmm. They didn't do that in the film, but I think they did one better and showed like a revolution, like a rebellion, not a revolution, a rebellion in District 11.
A rebellion, which she doesn't. That doesn't happen in the book. She doesn't know of a rebellion in the book.
I know she has like thoughts about like I wonder what they're thinking in District 11.
Yes,
but they went full-fledged like fighting the law enforcement and the president gets super pissed. It's a whole to-do.
Also, like the gifts, the little things that Haymitch censored in the games.
Yeah.
I know in the film they come with notes, but they don't come with notes in the book. She just like knows, she's like, oh, okay, I think this is what I do. But they come with, I don't know, so that was interesting.
It's totally interesting. I was going to bring that up too. Like, she is so in her head in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, I could almost hear him saying this while he sends me this, instead of actually having it right there.
Yeah.
Paper, which I think is help. It's just, it lends more to the medium.
Right. I think it's helpful for the audience in the film.
Yeah.
To see it that way.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like, you call that a kiss?
Oh, that made me angry.
Yeah.
A lot of things made me angry about this film. I mean, but good in a way of, yeah, you know what I mean? Not like mad at it.
What else made you angry?
No, I mean, I'm not mad at the film. I'm just like mad at the world that I think you're supposed to be. So,
I mean, that kind of reminds me, I think we can get into like I wanted to talk to you about like how the society is kind of similar to things that we see in our own society and in history. But like that whole thing just reminds me of reality TV. Have you seen Unreal?
No, I haven't.
It's a show about like creating a reality show basically. And it's a scripted show. And a big thing that they tackle on this show is that producers poke at the contestants on reality shows and ply them with alcohol to just try to create more conflict. And that was all over the place here.
Yeah. I mean, just like full gear here, the media in our society, it just like, it reminds me of Panem and President Snow and, you know, and I think a lot, I mean, throughout the whole, throughout the whole series, I think that's like a huge thing. That's the like big thing about Katniss's platform is that she's like, this is what they want. This is what they want us to do. This is what they want from us, but we're not going to do that. You know, like it's totally not playing their game at all.
Yeah. And they're struggled of dealing with that because they know that in the end, like they can make a moral stand, but they were supposed to die.
Yep.
Even the whole like switching the rules thing on them twice, bullshit.
Well, that's how they pit them against each other though, because really like all of the districts, they want to keep them separate. Sorry, I'm going to get angry now because like they want it.
I love it.
Because the more you separate people, more you separate humanity and pull them farther apart, the more evil wins. Because we're stronger united, and that's exactly what they want. I mean, you can see the correlations here. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes me so frustrated because if they all were like bonded and, you know, ultimately spoiling, you know, it ends up happening.
We already gave the warning. Listen, Hunger Games came out so long ago.
Everyone knows. But it's just like they try to pit them against each other, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole, like, they do that the Hunger Games every year because that's what keeps the solidarity and what they want. And they don't want the districts to be friends. They want them to be angry at each other because that's what gives them power. Yeah. Because if they stood with each other, they would take down the Capitol.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I think that's why the Rue moment was so powerful.
Yes. Honestly, I just got chills thinking about it.
Yeah. Goose pimples.
Goose pimples.
Goose flesh.
You and my mom are the only two people on this earth, I swear, that say goose pimples.
I say goosebumps, but I love the word goose. I call my friend Lucy Goose. I don't know. I just like saying goose.
I love it.
Yeah, and just like changing things up in the film to just make it more cinematically friendly.
Right.
Like in the kind of characters in her dialogue and exposition, you can kind of hear what happened to Katniss's dad towards the beginning of the book. But really, don't know what happened to Katniss's dad in the film until she's hallucinating from the tracker jacker stings, because she started hallucinating about how her father died, which I didn't have a problem with.
No,
you got to figure out how to. I mean, it must be so hard to adapt a book.
I agree. Like, what are the right choices to make? You still want to honor the material. It also has to be right for the screen. There's a lot of things to think about.
Especially because Katniss spends most of the book alone. And so all of it is the thoughts in her head. So how are they going to make that into a narrative?
Right. Yeah, I think they did a fabulous job.
I know. It's so entertaining. It's so good. Were there any other standout moments for you? Like, what are your favorite parts of the film?
My favorite parts, I mean, I love when District 11 rebels.
I know. Fabulous.
That makes me happy. Mm-hmm. I love Rue and Katniss's relationship.
What did you like about it?
I mean, I think it's a direct correlation of like her and her sister, kind of, because she wanted to say, I mean, obviously she, volunteered as tribute to save her sister from going to the Hunger Games.
If I'm not mistaken, in the book, I think she has a moment where she accidentally calls Rue Prim.
Yes. I think you're correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how she feels. She wants to help her. She wants to say, I mean, also she's so young, like to be forced into that. It's such a young age. It's like, I mean, it's disgusting, first of all.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is disgusting.
I mean, yes, the whole thing is disgusting, but that I think is just really heart-wrenching. And Rue's smart.
Totally smart and limber and like,
yeah.
I like in the book, she's like, don't count me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting because the whole thing is appalling, right? But it's interesting seeing like what is more appalling to someone, because I wrote down like all the things that I like think are the cruelest parts of the Hunger Games. They're all cruel, but like, what scale do you give them?
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're all cruel, yes, but I feel like Rue being young and having, I don't know, that just for me didn't even seem right. Like, I was like, there's not a rule against, like, they don't have to be of a certain age. Like,
and I was curious as to, maybe I missed this in the book and maybe someone can write it, or maybe is there a cap? Like, is there an age range? Why didn't their mom volunteer?
Well, yeah, but
I mean, here's the thing.
I think Katniss knew, like, I mean, she can't be that oblivious of her skills.
I'm sure there's a very obvious explanation to this, like a fucking cap on like how old you can be. And I should probably double check the book, but like,
yeah, I don't remember there being a cap, to be honest with you. I don't remember it being mentioned, but it's definitely not mentioned in the film.
Yeah. And the mom just stands there and I'm just like,
I know.
If I,
what's funny? I actually never thought about that until you just mentioned it now.
Why didn't the mom volunteer?
You know what? There must be some kind of cap because, like, honestly, I remember in the film them getting ready for the reaping, and the mom wasn't concerned for herself. For this show, it gets confusing sometimes because we read the book and watch the film. Sorry, there can't. But she was. Sorry, I'm thinking of the other films. Okay, keep talking.
No, it's just interesting because these like questions come up because you're talking about both pieces, right? So you're talking about the movie and the book, and sometimes it's just hard to keep it straight. And I just finished watching the movie like an hour ago. So like,
yeah, same.
I know there was no mention of a cap but like maybe I need to go back and reread the book.
I know. I just watched the movie too, and that's most present in my brain.
So like someone's probably listening to this and like pulling their hair out and being like, hello.
Like, what? I know.
But like it sucks like watching Prim get up there and the mom didn't do anything. But maybe she couldn't.
Yeah, maybe she couldn't. Well, I'm kind of feeling like it's in the book somewhere and we just are not. Because like I said, in the movie when they're getting ready for the reaping, like the mom is like not right. She doesn't seem concerned like for herself. She only seems concerned for them.
Yeah, there has to be a cap. There has to be. Yeah. Because they're all younger. Mm-hmm. Well, glad we sorted that out.
Yep.
Doing good. We're not experts. We know
We're not
this.
experts.
We're just exploring it.
Oh, I was going to say another part that I liked.
Yeah.
Because Peeta doesn't have, I mean, I think it's obvious he doesn't have the type of skills that Katniss has.
Right.
But I really love that he camouflages himself.
So cool.
So cool. Such a smart skill to have. And I love that.
I wonder how he did it in the forest.
I know. That's like kind of like, is that realistic? I don't know. But I think it's fascinating because I think Peeta could easily be kind of this like bumbling, like, not, I don't want to say bumbling idiot, but like kind of like a little bit, you know.
He's more of a normal citizen.
Right. Exactly.
He's like hunts illegally. She like has all these like skills that are like extra.
Right. Like she is not.
He's just injured. So poor guy, like, I feel like gets a bad rep.
Exactly. I think he gets a bad rap, but I love that he has that skill, and I love that you get to see it in the film, and it is helpful for him because honestly, like if he wouldn't have, when he hurts his leg and he has to camp, like it's such a smart thing and it saves his life.
Also, that's like a conversation of what are the skills that are most valuable to survive, right? I think he has some things that she did not have.
Absolutely.
Which is like a likability, like he was able to kind of manipulate people.
He made allies.
Yeah, but wasn't actually allies with them in his head. You know what I mean? Like he was able to worm his way into that group of career tributes, and he had no intention of actually being their ally. He was just doing it to protect her.
Yeah, I think his social skills worked to his advantage. Whereas Katniss was kind of more of a loner, and obviously her knowledge of the forest and her skill of hunting was how she survived. But it was different for Peeta, yeah. But doesn't mean that he's not worthy of praise because of that. I think, and I also think that's why they work well together in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, they have different strengths.
Different strengths, yeah.
I think, but they both had the similarity of like they both participated with honor. I would argue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she kills anyone just to kill them.
No.
All the kills that she makes are either an accident or being like self-defense.
Yep.
So she actually, the funny part about like what Peeta says, he's like, I don't want to lose who I am. And she's like, I can't even think about that. She doesn't lose herself at all.
No, she's like unapologetically who she is.
Yeah.
Which I dig.
There was one standout, just like pure movie moment. Well, I mean, it's in the book too, but one thing that I want to praise the movie for is the sound design. There was one moment in particular that like blew me away with sound design, and it was when she blows up the food with the apples and all that. That moment, they put this ringing hum in that made me feel like I lost my hearing.
I know. I thought I was crazy when I was watching it. I was like, am I okay?
It was phenomenal.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
The people that did the sound work on this film, so good. There was one other moment that stood out to me with the sound, and like I love like film scores and I love that kind of thing, but this movie, like just like the choices they made with sound really stood out to me, which is not normal for me. I noticed other things first, but this really stood out to me. The other one was when Rue dies and Jennifer Lawrence's character, Katniss, is screaming, but they mute her.
Yeah.
So good.
It's almost more powerful.
They also do that in Harry Potter when Harry's godfather dies. You see Harry screaming and fighting, and they just mute the whole thing, and it is more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Like,
I think because, in my opinion, maybe it leaves it up to your imagination what that scream sounds like.
Yeah. Well, no? You're right. You're right. No, that's a valid thing to say. It kind of reminds me, and maybe this is just like my own personal connection with it. When you try to scream in a dream.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah, it just makes me think, and like, I don't know, everything's so heightened in your dreams, you know? And when you try to scream and you can't, and it's almost more terrifying because no one can hear you. And it's like you're screaming into the void, you know, like no one can hear you.
I think you definitely have an excellent point because it adds to like the sense of powerlessness that character feels.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like she's screaming, but no one, like who's listening? No one.
No one.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's so powerful that maybe, I don't know if that's why they made that choice, but like just a thought.
I think it's subjective, right? It's what the audience gets out of it. But I think you have an excellent point, because Rue was at that point her ally. Like, I mean, at that point, I think Peeta did save her life and told her to run. So I think that she was starting to figure out that he wasn't actually allied with the other group, but she wasn't around him. But Rue was her like only ally at that point, and she died, and then she was just alone. And I think that just really emphasized how alone she was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very, I don't know, that part in the film really hits you for sure.
What do you think the cruelest part of the Hunger Games is?
The cruelest part. That's a really good question. I think it's cruel to like have someone with you in your same district that you have to potentially, because I think it's hard because it's like you have to make allies, right? To get to a certain point. And then eventually those allies have to become your enemy. And at what point does that happen? The switchover happen? And I think that's the cruelest part.
Yeah.
Because no one, because you go in knowing only one person is going to come out alive. And like, you make these allies, you fight like hand in hand with these people, and then you have to turn and kill them. It's fucked up.
Would you go in with the goal of making allies?
Oh, God. Oh. Yeah.
I don't think I could.
I don't think I could, because I would know at some point they were going to try to kill me.
Right. First of all, like the anxiety of like, how am I going to sleep?
I don't think I could do it. I think I would really just hide a lot of the time.
I think I would just like try to come up with some sort of plan and just do it on my own. Wait for everyone to kill each other.
Yes, I think I would too. But another cruel thing about the Hunger Games, it's in this virtual world, and they end up using things like tracker jackets and
those fireballs.
The fireballs to get them in the same area.
Yeah. And the
stuff they can do in that.
The big cats.
Yes. Oh, I thought they were dogs. But
dogs.
That could be up to interpretation, honestly.
I think that you're probably right, because they're called mutations, which is think a play on mutations.
They look like a beast, like some kind of beastie thing. But there's no rule. It's almost, there's like no rules on what they can torture these people with.
Yeah, I think like the whole thing obviously is cruel. I think bringing them to the Capitol where they get to see all this decadence that everyone at the Capitol lives in, when literally everyone in the districts is starving. That fucking is horrendous.
Yeah. Yes.
And then one thing that I don't know if it's in the book, but this was like a brilliant line. And it's really interesting because I think this is the first adaptation I've tackled on the show that the author of the book is actually one of the writers of the actual screenplay. So I don't know who wrote this line, but I thought it was brilliant. And it was a scene between Donald Sutherland and what is his name? I forget. Wes Bentley's character. And Donald Sutherland asks him, why do we have a winner? Why don't we just round up 24 people every year and just have them executed? It's because hope is the only thing to fear. I thought that was the most fucked up thing.
It's very fucked up. I actually kind of forgot about that, but yes, that.
Because I think he's right.
He's right. Oh yeah, he's right. But it's a very depressing thought.
It is interesting thinking about what hope is, because fear is a paralyzing, darkness-inducing thing that can keep people controlled, but people tend to gravitate. Or want to gravitate more towards the light, I think. I'd like to think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So to use that as a weapon against a nation is terrible. That line stood out to me in the film.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, we just the energy was brought real low.
I know, because I kind of forgot. I honestly feel like I black that part out sometimes because it's like
too dark.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because when you said it, I was like, yes, I remember that part. And like flashback to him saying it. Like I could see him saying it, man. But yeah, creeps me out, honestly. And also it's just like, again, like the parallel of like the world we live in today. And yeah.
Yeah, the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the division for sure. Which is, I'm like, is this on purpose? I don't know.
There are a lot of talks about that, like that division as a tool.
Mm-hmm. Because divided, your weak are divided, obviously. I mean, why do they tell you to like? I mean, you learn it from such a small age. Like, if girls want to go to the bathroom, you're bringing a friend. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're stronger in groups. Like my mom, I remember my parents legitimately telling me you're stronger in groups all the time. It's such a simple, thing, but it's very important. And yeah, I don't know. On a happier note,
yes,
the costumes.
Let's talk costumes.
Yes, they're fabulous. I believe
combined with special effects, so cool.
Well, right, okay, yes, combined with special effects, yes.
I love her hair in the chariot scene. I was thinking, I really wish I could do braids.
I want to wear all of the costumes that she has, that Katniss has.
So excellent.
Yes. And like just like her gear, like all of her, like it's just fun.
Just the what of her?
Oh, sorry. All of her gear that she has.
Yeah.
I dig it. It was very everything was very visually pleasing or unpleasing if you were in the districts, but.
Yeah, it was a big contrast. I think they like really brought it to life nicely.
Yeah. Just like the dirt and the grime. Everything. I don't know. I think I also too like have this weird fantasy. Like I'd really love to like visit all the districts, like if they like made like a theme park.
Oh yeah.
Based off of like all the districts. Like I think that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of sad, no?
Okay, yes, it would be sad. But like if they made it like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't know. I get why you're saying it would be sad, but I think it would also be like fascinating and fun. I don't know. I find dark stuff kind of fun sometimes, I guess.
I'm done.
I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's not real.
It's quite an interesting world that they built for sure.
Yeah. Or like, you get to visit. I'm not saying I want to live there. I think it would be fun to like, just like see, because you don't really get to see all of the districts up close.
Right, because they are so separated, right? Yeah. Like she didn't even know. She thought that District 12 was the one that was the most worse off until she talked to Rue and she's like, fuck, like your district is probably worse off than ours. Yeah. Like they don't communicate with each other.
No, exactly. And like they all have different purposes. Like I just think it's cool to find out like about, what they like one like the lumber. One of them is like lumber.
Yeah. Agriculture is another one.
Agriculture and I don't know. I just think it's fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see what they look like up close and personal. But like, obviously, yes, it would be sad. I get it.
And the different kind of parts of the machine that create one entity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Fascinating. Were there any other standouts for you before we move on?
Not that I can think of right now. We can move on.
Do you have any? I know we brought up fan fiction, and you you brought up Sex and the City. Do you participate in the fandom at all?
Besides watching it?
So, like a lot of people that watch Sex and the City, from what I know, call themselves either a Charlotte or a Carrie or a Miranda. Who are you?
Oh. Okay, this is what I like to say. Okay, So favorites right off the bat is I love Carrie and Miranda.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know who I am as a person, but I feel like the important thing about Sex and the City, and this is probably getting way too serious for Sex and the City, but I'm going to do it.
Do it.
I think we have all four of them in all of us.
Beautiful.
You all have like a little bit of everyone. And I think that because they're all such extremes of like each type of, I guess, persona.
So who are you today?
Who am I today?
Today.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who I am today.
I feel like you're a different person now than you were this morning.
Oh, yeah, me too. I feel like I was like Charlotte this morning, ready to have like a panic attack or something. I don't know.
You were Charlotte this morning. What does that mean?
I was very, like, Charlotte's pretty, like, she's a little high strung.
All right.
Yeah.
And then now?
Now I'm more relaxed. I had some wine. I feel like, maybe like a Samantha Carey hybrid. This is so stupid.
Stupid.
People are going to be listening to this and like, what the fuck?
What, do you want to share what happened this morning?
Oh, sure. Fine. I'm sure I'll be sharing it on No One's Okay, too. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
No, it's okay. Maybe I'll have a different story by then. So I went hiking. I was having a grand old time, had my headphones in, listening to some music, good stuff. Halfway down the trail, and I realized that my car key is no longer in my pant pocket. So I decided to retrace my steps. I was like, this won't be a problem. Like, it's a wide trail, highly traveled. Like, someone will either pick it up or like I will see it because it's a black key fob on like a light sand ground. I was wrong. My key fob disappeared. I honestly just can't help but think like some squirrel like took it and thought it was a nut. Or like it rolled off the side of the trail down the hill. I don't know.
It's like now crowning some squirrel's shrine, like honestly, in the trees or something.
Like, I just don't understand how it could have gotten so far, but lo and behold, it did. And Pam had to rescue me. See, I'm not that. I do have some of my shit together. I can adult a little bit because I know myself. And I was like, I should probably give Pam, a spare key to my apartment. Like, that would be smart because, I'm pretty good. Have I had to use you? This is the first time. I've had to use you. So I've been doing great. Usually I'm good, but today I was not. I mean, she has my apartment key. I had my apartment keys. They were just in the car that was locked because I lost the fob. So she rescued me with coffee and baked goods. We walked the trail one more time, even though I had scoured it like 4 times. People were looking at me like, what is this girl doing? I was like getting close to the ground and like moving like branches and leaves. People were probably like, what is going on? What is she looking for? But yeah, we didn't find it, but it's okay because I have a spare. I had a spare. Now it's the only one I have. It worked out. It was fine. Everything is great, but it definitely was stressful and kind of a bummer.
Kind of a bummer.
But, life goes on. But now I'm a Carrie Samantha hybrid, so it's fine.
Very good.
Great.
We did sort of a hybrid on the Are You Okay with Fandom.
We did.
Very good.
I would ask you what your favorite fandom is, but I know it already.
Yeah.
So, no need,
Harry Potter, bitches.
Yes. Are you like one of those people that's like, I'm still waiting for my letter, like whatever it is called?
Excuse me, you don't have to roll your eyes like that.
That was so awful of me. And I'm sure people have like terrible things to say about Sex and the City. So like, I really shouldn't judge, but like Harry Potter, I've seen some of the films.
You need to read the books.
I know I do.
Very good. On that note,
we did it. Everyone's going to hate me because everyone loves Harry Potter. And I was just so rude. Doing great.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
We should take it out. Take that part out. No. I don't need people like assaulting me on the streets.
No one's gonna assault you on the streets because of that. That's so funny. What's the thing? Oh, I'm pulling this up because I'm happy if you're happy.
I'm happy.
Excellent. On that note, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Alexa Marie Anderson for joining us today. Where can people follow you, Alexa?
Oh, You can follow me. My Instagram handle is at Alexa Marie Anderson 1. Almost forgot my last name. Doing great.
That is at Alexa Marie Anderson 1.
Yes. Yes, that is what it is.
Very good. I also want to take this opportunity for whoever's listening, if you guys make fan fiction, write fan fiction, create fan art, send it over, because I would love to take a look, and if it's cool with you, maybe even share it on the show. And you can email us at basedonshow@gmail.com. Thank you so much to our guest. Wow. Thank you so much to our guest, Alexa Marie Anderson, again. Alexa, do you have any projects coming up? Anything you'd like to, advertise other than,
I wish.
No one's okay. Huh?
No one's oh, right. That. Doing great. Yes. No One's Okay podcast.
I'm dying.
Go listen. I'm so good at self-promotion. Should be my day job.
We're both really good at it.
I know. Doing great.
Any books or movies you're watching right now?
Books or movies I'm watching? I am about to be reading Chaos. We talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
About the Manson murders.
Yeah.
Again, nonfiction, so here I am.
That's fine.
Very excited about it.
That's very good. Excellent. I'm excited for you. On that note, this was Based on, an Adaptation podcast. I'm Pamela Portnoy. We'll have a new episode out to you every other Monday. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. And please don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Based on Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Alexa Marie Anderson, Tiffany Haymoff, Jackson Palmer, Claire Palmer, Maya Ashkenazi, Jordan Ross Weinhold, Jason Crow, and Soundwork Studios. Woo! Thanks, guys. See you next time. We're actually going to be a guest in a couple weeks.
Yes, that is true. We will get to be guests. We forgot. Yes, that's going to be exciting. I'm excited about that.
So you got to tell me as a guest.
Okay, I will. I'll give you feedback.
Okay. Well,
maybe we can talk about the feedback on No One's Okay.
No One's Okay.
No one is.
Yeah, so be sure to check out No One's Okay to see what Alexa actually thinks about me, because she's probably going to talk to me as if I wasn't the host. She's probably going to be like, I was on this podcast the other day.
So weird.
The host didn't know what she was doing.
And this girl's not okay. Okay, I'm stopping now. It's too much.
We're fine.
We're fine. Yes, exactly.
What was that noise? Was that an owl?